So here we go then, boys. Our first little content drop, 0.1.6. Brings us 2 new cars, new special events, and Fuji Speedway. So real quick before we get into it, this is played and recorded in 4K, so get yourself on 4K on YouTube. Ultra settings, DLSS on quality, MSA on 4, and everything else just cranked up. Let's just get straight into the cars then, starting with the Lancia. And the first thing I noticed was, what's going on with these headlights? Why does it look like there's a waterfall inside of them? But, you know, early access. Yeah, there's a bunch of different versions. Don't really know what the difference is. Maybe it's just visual. There is some parts available in the tuning options. But we'll get to that when we get to that. But I think this blue version with the pinstripe probably looks the best. For just like the stock colors, obviously you can change the colors as always. But man, out the box, this looks sick. So we quickly go through all the options. There was only one paint option, but you could make your own. Same for the interior. Didn't really understand why they have this as an option. Maybe you can customize it in the future. But for both interior selections, there's only one option for one color. Just kind of doesn't make no sense. But like I said, maybe that's something for the future. And for the wheel options was just silver and black. One of the other models further up the line, probably one of the EVO models, had the option for black wheels by default. So yeah, this brings us on to the parts, which you see when I click the suspension, it actually lowered. So I guess it's probably, you know, more of a sporty type setup, and this is probably like a race differential. I don't know. I'm just guessing at this point. But, I mean, it looks clean. I like the model. I like the paint. Let's go into the Lamborghini real quick. So same as the Lancia, obviously there's a ton of options. Like the stock one at the beginning. The second one has like, what, 2 tones or like highlighted accents on some of the parts. 3 different types of wheels are available, I think. And a bunch of different versions with liveries and, you know, the usual type of stuff. Man, I do like the stock one. I think it looks really good. But I think for the purpose of the video, you know, we'll get one with a little sticker on the side. I think this one is my favorite. So real quick again, we'll go through the options. There is a lot more options on this one. Starting with caliper, decal, color. You're not gonna notice that. Like, unless you're taking crazy pictures, you know, then that's something for the picture boys. Obviously, caliper color options. I just went with orange to start with. I plan on using like some wild color for the car. Sticker color options. So this changes the material of the front bumper, the rear bumper, and the spoiler as well. Goes from like a matte carbon, I guess, to a shiny gloss carbon. It looks quite nice in the gloss though. I feel like it's going to fit the wild color a little bit more. We gotta go Lambo green. And then for the accent color, I wanted maybe like a red. After I clicked on this orange, I was thinking, I think I want to go red. You know, it's just like a red accent with, or red calipers, or like a red pinstripe and or something like this. So this was the brightest like red I could find. Okay, interior. Don't know why we would need to change the color of that strap. Just tie it in with something else. But, you know, whatever. Every customization is welcome. Change the pinstripes on the seats, which is pretty good. Obviously, we went with green because the car's green. And they have like a carbon pack for the interior for all the rich boys. I mean, if you're going to spec a Lambo, you may as well go all out, aren't you? And you can change the material on the vents. Next is the wheels. These was like the standard wheels that came on the standard car. There's 3 color options for these. But we're just going to go with these top wheels. This is why I picked this version. And then you can change the locking nut in the middle as well. I just went with black. And then quickly change the calipers to yellow. Don't know why, just felt like it would fit a little bit better. And finally, this interior option. I think this is quite cool. So you can kind of go for like a street build or more of a track build. So it adds the roll cage, the harness, and I guess this is like a fire extinguisher in the middle. But yeah, I think this was like a nice little option. Alright, let's just get into the driving then. Starting with the Lancia. So this is the setup we're going to run. Fuji at 1 PM. We've got to try the new track, right? While I finish my cup of tea, let's just take a look at the setup options. Standard, nothing on there what can be changed. We have 3 tire options. We're just going to use road. Maybe be a little bit more skiddy, a little bit more fun. And this actually, on this option for aero, it used to be rad height was in here, and I questioned it on one of my videos, and some other people commented about it as well, saying that they'd noticed it seemed a bit strange. Whether it was a mistake by the devs, I don't know. So just checking the car up real quick, give it a little rev, look at the lights. This is one thing I always do when checking out AC mods. I always look at the lights and listen to the sound. I mean, it sounds alright, you know? It's an iconic car. I can see why they would bring something like this to the game. I mean, it's pretty fun to drive. We're just going to do 2 laps. There's some first person, there's some cinematics. You know how I usually do things by now. Man, I haven't driven this track as well since I've pretty much started doing sim racing videos on YouTube. I did a daily race on Gran Turismo here, like still on my G29. It feels like a million years ago, but yeah, I remember it. Also as well, coming around this corner, there's like some weird glitch with the camera. I think I should point it out on the next track. And in third person, you see this weird lag it does. It's like a stutter. It just did it then. When I drive down the straight, and again, when I drive, I'll leave it on all the way down the straight at the end. Like, and again, you'll be able to spot it. Like, I don't need to keep pointing it out. But it only does it with this car, because I do the same thing in the Lamborghini. We bring the Lamborghini around here afterwards. And it doesn't do it with that, which I thought was kind of strange. What else I found with this as well, I don't know if this is front wheel drive or all wheel drive. Like, to me, I thought it was all wheel drive. I thought this is an all wheel drive car. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comments. But I wanted the car to slide more in the corners. Like, through these fast corners at the end. I tried to like whip the car a little bit, but it just wasn't having it. Like I said, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it's front wheel drive. Oh yeah, don't take this as a tutorial lab, like, you're not going to learn how to win races by watching this. Like I said, it's my first time driving here in probably nearly 2 years. Yeah, watch when we come around this corner as well, you'll see this little camera glitch thing. I kind of know why it does it, because on the cinematic replays, it randomly picks cameras, and if them two cameras don't perfectly overlap each other, it'll go to the one in between. It's quite hard to explain. Like, I know what I mean, but if you know what I mean, then, you know, GG's. Alright, we don't need to watch me drive down the straight. Let's just skip to the Lamborghini. So using the same track, but a slightly different time of day, just to give it, you know, slightly different vibes. So, same again. Let's just have a quick look through the setup menu. You know what this is? Tow, camber. Same with the previous car, we have 3 tire options. But we're just going to leave it on whichever is default. And same with the aero, you know, no rad height again. Just 3 options for the spoiler. Let's move forwards a little bit. Little sound check. I actually think it sounds really good. Check the exterior, look at the lights. Listen to it from the back. Sounds sick. Send it. So I already drove this earlier on Imola. I must this might be my new favorite car. I'm not usually a huge fan of Lamborghinis. I'd sooner drive a Porsche or a Ferrari, but this is really good. The other thing I like about it is how much control it has when the back end kicks out. I was just moving the mouse off the screen, you know, I don't want this in the replay. Yeah, coming through this section here, nice little twisty bit, get the back end out. It does die though, like it did there. If you don't fully commit and like fully stay on the revs, the engine will just die. But I guess for you guys, you know, with your pedals and your working legs, you'll be able to accelerate and brake at the same time. Whereas for me, using the hand controller, it's one or the other. So I have to kind of commit just to the throttle and wheel control to hold the drift. You notice as well, in the cinematic cameras, there's no lag like there was with the Lancia. It's perfectly smooth. That brings me on to something else. I'm sure you used to be able to press F1 when you was in the replay and go into through the cameras, you know, first person, third person, dash view. It didn't work. Maybe it's bound to another button now, I don't know, but for me it didn't work. Let me know in the comments if you know how to do it, or if it's a mistake or a bug since the update. I actually did another lap, but the video is already at 16 minutes, so we're just gonna call it there. Man, I'm looking forward to actually like doing some races with this, and if you're still here, I've figured out how to fix the VR in EVO. Mine was completely broke. It was like 2 screens laid over the top of each other, and it just did not work at all. Like, it was not VR, and I primarily make videos in VR. So my next video is how to fix that. If that's something you're interested in, drop a sub, stay notified for when the next upload is. And if you enjoyed the video, drop a like. If you want to see more content like this, subscribe. I'll catch you in the next one.